Hey neighbor, how are you? It's good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. It is Monday, the 16th day of August 2021. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. We are in for a busy Monday. It's one of those Mondays where we actually, got to work. Normally on Mondays, I'm here and I show up and I do my job. I just don't work particularly hard on Mondays. It hasn't been the case today. We have a lot to get to. We'll have the latest on the 25-mile fire. We also had a homicide up in the Chelan area over the weekend. We have a lot of news to get to. Much cleaner air. We'll talk about that after a smoky, stinky, not particularly pleasant weekend. We set record highs on Saturday and Sunday, tied them both. Weather forecast is coming up. It's going to be a lot cooler today. It's going to be about 10 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday, and a good 10 degrees cooler tomorrow than it was today. A rather robust cold front is moving into the north central Washington area. The good news for area firefighters is going to cool us way down. The bad news, we're going to get wind, a lot of wind, all the way through Tuesday night. Watch out for some breezy conditions. Forecast details are coming up. Sports, our very own Eric Grandstrom was down in Las Vegas Saturday night to cover the Raiders and the Seahawks. Nobody really played. The starters didn't play. They sat around with their headsets on, but Eric will have the highlights on that. Some really cool highlights from the WVSO on Saturday night. We're going to show you some video there I think you'll enjoy. We'll have the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Mike Magnotti's gone to the Pinion. And tomorrow is opening day of the Grant County Fair. It's been going over 100 years out there in Moses Lake. We had a chance to visit with Jim McKiernan, the fairgrounds manager, the guy who runs the fair. We visited him last week. We're going to play you that interview, put you in the mood for heading into the fair season. It is fair season. You got the Grant County Fair all this week, and then you have the NCW Fair up in Waterville, eventually the weekend after Labor Day in Cashmere for the Chelan County Fair. So a friendly reminder, we're running out of summer, and it's going to feel much more comfortable today, and even more so tomorrow. If you're tired of the hot, stinky mess that we've been in, we have some good news for you, all right? 2 minutes after the hour, let's begin our festivities. Let's take you around the valley. It's 75 degrees outside. You'll notice some more clouds, still some haze, but the good news is the air quality alert will expire at 10 o'clock this morning. Nothing like we had on Friday, Saturday, and even a little bit on Sunday. Sunday was quite okay. Air quality-wise, it's even better now, and I think we're past that for the time being. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera, pointed a little bit more towards the Wenatchee Valley. That looks to be Stamen Flats. Am I correct on that, Malcolm? Malcolm is confirming that's Stamen Flats on your way up to Lake Chelan. It's decision-making time right there. Do I take the Navarre Coulee Road and dump myself off at the state park? Or do I keep right on 97A up through the Knaps Hill Tunnel and down on into Pat Mike's? Good morning to the Columbia River up to, is that Nanapoc? It's Lake Wenatchee, wherever it is. Well, it's not Lake Wenatchee proper. It's there somewhere. To the upper valley we go, and you can see a few high clouds there as well. We really could use a little bit of light rain. We could see a little bit of light rain on Tuesday. Wouldn't that be nice? And I'm thinking that's the Bear Mountain camera. Is that correct, Malcolm? That's the Bear Mountain camera, and that's pointed towards the 25-mile fire, which broke out yesterday afternoon shortly after 5 o'clock. They're working on it. That'll be our lead story when we get to the news. As you can see, it's very smoky and hazy up there. It is going to be breezy today and right until Tuesday, so we're keeping a close eye on that. So breezy and gusty winds are going to return here in the Wenatchee Valley. We'll have a pretty consistent wind all day today, about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts above 20, not out of the realm of possibility. Windy still tonight, gusts about 20 miles an hour possible. It's a northwest wind. We do it again on Tuesday with even stronger winds Tuesday as this robust cold front comes down from the Gulf of Alaska. Tuesday night, we start calming down. We're done with the wind. Let's take a look at your air quality here on this Monday morning. Considerably better than what we were on Friday, Saturday, and even on Sunday. Ellensburg, your air quality is good. Quincy, your air quality is good. They had really dirty air out in the Columbia Basin. Wenatchee, we're looking okay. All of this is in the green. That's what you want to see. Now, Chelan is at 39, and my guess is as long as that 25-mile fire continues to burn, that's going to degrade. Then the farther north you go, as it has been for the last couple of weeks, the dirtier the air. Up in Brewster, you're at 156. That is unhealthy. Omak, 162. Also unhealthy. In fact, Omak now has the dirtiest air in the state. Twisp, you're at 125. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups. And by the way, this show is also unhealthy for sensitive groups. Quick heads up on that. All right, let's go to your forecast from the National Weather Service. Again, after a high temperature on Saturday of 102, on Saturday, we tied the record high temperature on Saturday, 102, tied the record of 102 set back in 1992. And then we did it again yesterday. On Sunday, we hit 101 yesterday. That tied the record for August 15th, the record of 101 set back in 1967. So for the record, we have set or tied record high temperatures 7 times this summer, and we have had 12 days with a high temperature at or above 100. That is unbelievably hot. Neither one of those things have ever happened before. 7 times record high temperatures and 12 days this summer with a high temperature of at least 100, if not warmer than that. And of course, back on June 30th, the all-time high temperature of 113. But all this excessive heat is going to be going away as it starts breaking down. So considerably cooler today, about 91. We'll be lucky to get to 80 on Tuesday. The big story today, Tuesday, and especially Tuesday night as the last of this cold front comes in. And again, it's packing quite a bit of energy from the Gulf of Alaska. Winds are going to be rather intense, especially Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. Keep your fingers crossed. Going to take a quick 1-minute break, and when we come back, we have an adult portion of news. There's a lot of things to talk about on this Monday. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
What you're doing is ridiculous.
Well,
You might as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we...
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So...
Go to ChelanPUD.org/save today.
High clouds, 75 degrees outside of our studios, lower 90s today with some wind. We're going to cool down to below 80 on Tuesday. Again, more wind as that cold front comes in from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to scour out all the dirty air, but it could make things difficult for area firefighters. And our lead story is what's going on up north. State resources have been mobilized to assist local firefighters fighting the 25-mile fire. This is in the hills northwest of Chelan. The fire was first reported at 5:17 yesterday afternoon. Strong winds quickly pushing the fire down towards the lake, towards the Fields Point Landing and Kelly's Resort area. Level 3 evacuations, those are in red that you see there. They have been issued for Shady Pass Road down to South Lakeshore Road. Level 2 evacuation notices are in yellow on your map there. They're in a place on South Lakeshore Road from the Fields Point Landing to Morning Sun Road, and then level 1 evacuations, the green that you see there, those have been issued for South Lakeshore Road to Kelly's Resort. The fire is about 350 acres in size. It's burning in timber and brush. Crews from Chelan County, Douglas County, Manson, Aniat, and Kashmir responded yesterday afternoon. The cause of the fire under investigation. A 60-year-old Chelan man is dead, and his wife is being held in the Okanagan County Jail accused of his death. Sheriff Tony Hawley of the Okanagan County Sheriff's Office said that shortly after 1:30 on Saturday afternoon, deputies from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office received a call regarding a homicide in the 400 block of Antoine Creek Road. That's about 10 miles north of Chelan. The Okanagan County Sheriff's Office assumed control of the crime scene after determining the location was in their jurisdiction. Inside the residence, deputies found the body of David Pulich and arrested his wife, 58-year-old Celine Pulich. Celine Pulich was booked on charges of first-degree manslaughter. The details regarding the homicide unknown as of this morning. The Moses Lake Police Department is the latest law enforcement agency to report problems with Washington's new enforcement laws. The department says about 10 o'clock on Tuesday night, a motorist haunted Moses Lake officers on multiple occasions, a motorcyclist I should say, by speeding through downtown and weaving between vehicles at high rates of speed. Now, according to police, because of the state's new pursuit laws, they could only watch until the motorcycle ran through a red light at Highway 17 near Interstate 90 and sideswiped a vehicle. Police say the rider was able to remount the heavily damaged motorcycle and flee the scene. From Highway 17 near I-90 to behind Moses Lake High School is where he went, apparently. Police tracked the motorcycle to a residential area behind the high school, but thus far have been unable to locate the rider. In a statement, the Moses Lake Police Department said this was not a case of police choosing not to act, but rather following the state's new pursuit law, which they described as, quote, clear in both its restrictions and intent, end quote. Superintendent of Public Instruction Chris Reichendahl, well, he wants Governor Jay Inslee to order COVID-19 vaccinations for all teachers and educational staff. In a news conference on Friday, Reichendahl said the health of everybody returning to school this fall is at risk from the rising pandemic, and vaccination is the best shield from possible school outbreaks and closures.
I have sent a letter to Governor Inslee. I have asked him to expand the vaccine requirement with the corresponding exemption opportunities for those who do not want to vaccinate. The same requirement he has placed upon all state employees and healthcare professionals. I am asking him to expand those to all school personnel. Every part of our state, every employee in the public school system. The governor will have to make decisions should he go this route, and I'm confident that he will, but he will have to make more detailed decisions about other sectors, early learning. There are certainly other places where I believe personally this could apply. My scope and control is over public schools, and that's my recommendation to the governor.
The public health officers for all 35 health districts in this state, they've signed a joint statement, and it's calling for indoor masking in most public settings. The sizable increase in COVID-19 infections and the rise of the Delta variant have the public health officials concerned. The public letter was issued on Thursday. Signatories include Dr. Malcolm Butler with the Chelan Douglas Health District, Dr. James Wallace from the Okanagan County Health District, and Dr. Alexander Brzezinski for Grant and Adams counties. Now, in addition to masks, the health officers are also urging prompt vaccination for everybody aged 12 and older. North Central Washington's population definitely grew between 2010 and 2020. Newly released census data show that Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, and Grant counties increased their population figures by a total of 9%. Gaining almost 22,000 new residents. Grant County gained the most new residents with 10,000 people, followed by Chelan County with 7,000. All that growth was among Hispanic residents. Non-Hispanic populations declined in the four counties. The Census Bureau says more detailed population data will be released to the public over the next month or so. The Wenatchee School Board is considering an updated policy on how teachers and staff conduct themselves when engaging in public speech or politics. The board on Tuesday held its first reading of the revised policy, which was put forward after an elementary school teacher posted a sheet on gender diversity on a school bulletin board. Superintendent Paul Gordon told the board that changes would put more specific policies and procedures in place.
I really see the importance for the board, the superintendent, to recognize our staff's, our employees' ability to express themselves and engage in political activities, so long that it does not interfere or conflict with the performance of their duties for the school district. And when I look at paragraph 3, I think it really summarizes it well on the policy. At all times, including off campus, district staff should take care to avoid conduct that may interfere with their ability to perform their duties consistent with district policies and procedures, or that would foreseeably cause a disruption to the operation of the school. So to me, that's really where we're at, where we're talking about that disruption within a school, and making sure that we have clarity to our staff around district voice and staff voice. And what does that look like for a staff member to make sure they're feeling very comfortable in this space. District employees, it's hard to take off your district employee hat. It just is. And in the world of social media, it's even more challenging to take off your district hat. So the district office would never get on social media and search people. That would never, ever occur within the district. But what it does mean is if somebody were to report something, we would look into it and have, if it came to a controversial issue, we would have a respectful conversation with that staff member, but that's what it means. Again, district office is not scanning Facebook, not looking at Twitter, Instagram, or whatever else is out there, but that's how that would be applied. We're always wearing our district hats as the superintendent, as any other employee, just as board members, you always end up having that board hat on.
And finally, on this Monday, area bridge inspections are on the agenda today and tomorrow. Now, these inspections may impact travelers around Chelan County. Now, while inspections are underway, traffic will be reduced to one lane on the impacted bridges with flaggers directing traffic. Travelers are asked to find alternate routes during the bridge inspections, which can last up to a couple of hours. Now, bridge lane closures will include the Ardenvor Bridge. That'll be at noon today, as well as the Monitor Bridge at 2:30. Then on Tuesday, inspections will take place on the Peshastin Bridge at 8 a.m., followed by the Cottage Avenue Bridge in Kashmir at 12:30. Lane closures are necessary, so Washington State Department of Transportation and Chelan County crews can stage an under-bridge inspection. The UBIT has a long arm and a bucket, so crews can inspect the bridge for cracks, rust, and other deficiencies along its sides and underneath the bridge. Those are your headlines at 17 minutes after the hour. If this morning is any indication, it's going to be a busy day around the bullpen with lots to touch on. With a preview of tonight's news, the anchor Grant Olson.
Good Monday morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, much cooler temperatures and breezy weather conditions on tap for our Monday. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom is back from Vegas with more on the weekend matchup between the Seahawks and the Raiders. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. I make a point of watching the news. I hope you do too. And don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. Any number of ways you can do it. It's all internet related because I'm on record. This internet thing is going to be big. It's going to take off. Mark my words. You can use our Facebook page and drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. You can go to our website, ncwlife.com, drop us a note that way, or you can just email us, news@ncwlife.com. When we come back, Mariner highlights. Couldn't quite pull off the sweep against the Blue Jays, but they didn't play too bad. All in all, a pretty successful homestand before they hit the road. Highlights from the Wenatchee Valley Super Bowl. We'll check in with Eric, who is in Vegas for the Raiders and the Seahawks, plus the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, and opinion from Mad Dog McNaughty. And it's fair time. We'll talk to the fairgrounds manager out of Grant County before this half hour is done. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Are you ready to freshen up your home? Boswell's expansive two-story showroom is filled with high-quality furniture that's always discounted to give you their best price every day. Boswell's is receiving new furniture deliveries each week, so you'll be sure to find just what you need for your home without the wait. Complimentary design assistance and free local delivery. Superior customer service and the best value for your money. Start at Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
To achieve greatness once, it's not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning. Introducing the next all-electric super truck. The revolutionary GMC Hummer EV SUV. Reserve one now while they last.
19 minutes after the hour in sports, Mariners couldn't quite pull off the sweep of the Blue Jays over the weekend. They fell at T-Mobile Park yesterday afternoon, 8-3. The final. It was a day for the long ball for the visitors as Toronto hit 4 home runs, 2 of which came off Seattle starter Logan Gilbert. He didn't look very good. He took the loss. He lasted only 4 innings. He allowed 5 runs on 8 hits. None of those were there at the Bear Mountain camera. The lone bright spot for the Mariners offensively was Kyle Seager in the bottom of the 8th.
Deep drive, right field. Going back, gone. Kyle Seager, home run number 26. The RBI leader has added 2 more to his total with 74. And here comes another late game rally by the Mariners. Got a 7-3 ball game with 1 out in the 8th.
That was on Sunday. There was no late inning rally. Seattle beat the Jays on Friday, 3-2, on a walk-off walk by Jared Kelnick. And 9-3 on Saturday. They scored 7 runs in the 7th and the 8th innings. Mariner manager Scott Service said despite the loss on Sunday, it was a good homestand.
Yeah, let me start. First of all, really, really good homestand. For us, talk about winning series, and unfortunately, we have a chance to sweep the Blue Jays today, and it's a really good lineup over there, and they jumped on a couple Logan Gilbert fastballs early, and certainly had the long second inning, threw a ton of pitches there, and it was really the 2-run double there in the third kind of created some separation in the game. So, not as sharp as we've seen Logan. I thought he had a really good fastball early. As he continues to make a few adjustments with his slider, his off-speed pitches, just not as consistent, as he would like them to be, or they will be. Offensively, I thought we had some chances early on. Mads put a ton of pitches on him early. A couple chances there. Needed a big hit to kind of get us back in it, and just weren't able to get it done. But overall, we continue to play good baseball, and just it's tough to sweep really good teams, and they got a heck of an offensive club. But happy with how we're playing. Is get the day off tomorrow, regroup, and then get after it on the road trip over in Texas.
Yeah, Mariners are off today. Then it's off to Texas. They begin an 8-game road trip tomorrow against the Rangers. Speaking of the Rangers, they're coming in after beating Oakland 7-4 Sunday behind 2 home runs from DJ Peters and another from Adolis Garcia. Phil Gosselin was 2 for 4 with a home run. He led the Angels over the Astros 3-1. So your standings, the Mariners are 5.5 back in the wild card race behind Oakland and Boston. Yankees are 2.5 back. Toronto sits 4.5 games behind in the wild card standings. The West Coast League playoffs got underway over the weekend. On Saturday, Kiko Romero's grand slam home run highlighted a 7-run 4th inning for Corvallis. The Knights took Game 1 of its South Division Championship 13-6, and Bellingham scored 14 runs on 23 hits, smashing Yakima Valley 14-1 in Game 1 of its North Division Championship. The Bell's Cody Schreier 5 for 6 in the game with 4 RBIs and a home run. On Sunday, Ethan Ross and 5 relievers held Ridgefield to a 3-hit shutout. Corvallis sweeping the best of 3 series. The final on Sunday, 9-0. Briley Knight 3 for 4 at the plate with 3 RBIs. And Michael Carpentier's 2-run base hit highlighted a 6-run 3rd inning for Yakima Valley. The Pippins rebounded to beat Bellingham 6-3. So Corvallis, they await the winner of tonight's Game 3 between the Bells and the Pippins. It'll be at 7:05 at Yakima County Stadium. Game 1 of the West Coast League Championship will be either at Yakima or Bellingham on Wednesday night. Seahawks travel to Vegas over the weekend for their first preseason game against the Raiders. Hardly any starters played for either team. Vegas came out on top 20-7. We get more from our very own Eric Granstrom, who was at Allegiant Stadium producing the radio broadcast for the Seahawks Radio Network.
Well, the Seahawks start the preseason on a sour note, falling down in Vegas by a score of 20-7 to the Las Vegas Raiders on Saturday night. Eric Granstrom here at Allegiant Stadium, where the Seahawks had a very slow start to the first half. Played better in the second half. Alex Magoo doing most of the quarterbacking duties after Geno Smith went down with a concussion on a very hard hit. DJ Dallas, the only one to reach the end zone on a 43-yard pass play on 4th and 4 in the second half. So the Hawks will try to regroup and play a little bit better at home in front of the 12s for the first time since 2019, this coming Saturday at home. Again, the Seahawks fall here at Allegiant Stadium. First time that this stadium here, the new home of the Raiders, had fans in attendance, and they were pretty loud. Carlos Santana also did very well at halftime. From Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Eric Granstrom on the NCW Life Channel.
The Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm still not used to saying that, they came out and dominated the first half. They ran 52 plays, and they controlled the line of scrimmage. Seattle's Alex McGow completed 6 of 10 passes for 54 yards and a touchdown. The Seahawks defense came up with 4 sacks. Coach Pete Carell says they got a good look, even though it was a rough night on both sides of the football.
Well, what we did tonight was not good enough to win a football game. And on both sides of the ball, we needed to do some things better, particularly on third down. Third down was a nightmare for us. particularly on defense, and made it really hard for us. But what we came here to do was tackle people for the first time this year and run and hit and see how our young guys would chase on the kicking game, and would we get after it and play hard and tough and all that. And we did all of that. I was really pleased with the hitting tonight, and I thought our special teams coverage teams were excellent. And that just shows you our young guys getting after it, which is great. It was really a game that we dedicated to the young guys. You noticed that a lot of people didn't play in this game, and the Rooks got a shot at it, and you know, they were busting their tails and doing the best they could, and we just needed to be a lot cleaner in crucial areas, and we weren't able to do that.
Seahawks return home. They'll take on the Broncos. It'll be Saturday night at 7 o'clock at Lumen Field. The stands were full, and I mean jam-packed. At Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Saturday night, the Johnson Electric Bump to Pass and Boat Race Destruction, Francisco Rojas of Yakima. He took the checkered flag in the main event of the Bump to Pass race. Jeff Baker, second. Bruce Holmes, third. East Wenatchee's Cameron Doyle was a winner again. In the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, Wenatchee's Luke Shaw, second. Moses Lake's Randy Pugh was third. Chris Wisman grabbed the checkered flag in the Northwest Pro 4 truck main event. Aaron Green was second, followed by Shane Green of Seattle. I think they're related. And while all that was great, the crowd was there to see, well, Bump to Pass. That's right, cars with boats and boat trailers chained to the back of them. Just like the New Jersey Turnpike. They'll be back at it again this Saturday at the WVSO, by the way. It's the PLM 75 featuring the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models, the Mountain Dew Junior late models, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners, the Northwest Vintage Modifieds, and the Northwest Focus Midgets. None of them will be towing a boat. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Monday, the 16th day of August, I had three, count them, three obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Rum Day. Is that rum? Okay. I believe you. I'm not a rum drinker, so far as you know. Today is National Tell a Joke Day. I got a doozy for you, but I want to keep our FCC license, so got to keep that down. Today is National Roller Coaster Day, because I love roller coasters. I love them. I think they're fantastic. You scream and you yell, and it defies gravity, and the odds of you getting hurt are minimal. In fact, I looked it up. It's been estimated that you have a 1 in 500 million chance of actually being injured on a roller coaster. So just get on it and have some fun. Roller coasters go back to like the 17th century. They used to do them in Russia. They would do train tracks, and you would just basically ride a train track down a mountain and let gravity do the work. And eventually, some people decided it must be really cool to ride a train into the mines to mine coal. It isn't really, but they decided when they weren't mining coal, they could charge people for the pleasure of riding in a shaft in the middle of a mountain. And then, of course, they started building roller coasters for fun. The most famous roller coaster in the world, the historic roller coaster, is the Cyclone on Coney Island. It was opened in 1927. I've never been on it. Roller coasters are fun. They're just a kick in the rear end. They're a blast. I'll never forget the first time I rode a roller coaster and that and the tension as the chain grabbed the coaster and you went all the way up to the top, and then it was like, woo. Don't eat a corn dog, by the way, before you hop on a roller coaster. Bottom of the hour, today in history, baseball. Ray Chapman was hit in the head on this date, August 16th, 1920. He was crowding the plate. He was one of those guys who stood almost on top of the plate, Ray Chapman. Carl Mays was a particularly disagreeable man. He was the pitcher for the New York Yankees. He was a submarine pitcher, sidearm submarine pitcher. Ray Chapman simply didn't see the fastball thrown by Carl Mays. He could not get out of the way. The ball struck him in the left temple. Ray Chapman went down. They eventually revived him. They took him to the clubhouse. They said this is pretty serious. They took him to the hospital. The next day, Ray Chapman died. He remains the only person to die as a result of an injury on a Major League Baseball field. It happened 101 years ago today. That is a plaque dedicated to Ray Chapman. They wanted to throw Carl Mays out of the game of baseball, but the baseball players eventually said it wasn't his fault, really. It was bound to happen. The baseballs were black with licorice and tobacco stains, and they was hard to see. From this point forward, anytime a ball was hit out of play, a brand new, fresh white baseball was brought in so the batters could see it better. But somebody had to die to make that happen. The saga of the L-class blimp that crashed in Carson City, California, just south of San Francisco on the state, August 16, 1942. It was on a reconnaissance plane. It was a blimp, two-man crew. They were out looking for Japanese submarines during World War II. It took off in the early morning hours. Both the officers, the senior officer and the junior officer, knew this thing very well, and they flew all over the place looking for Japanese submarines. Had made over 1,000 trips with no mechanical issues whatsoever, and then mysteriously it crashed into a neighborhood just south of San Francisco. What happened to the two-man crew, Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Adams? Nobody knows. Their bodies were never found. Nobody knows whatever happened to them. They simply disappeared 79 years ago today. 73 years ago today. Today should be National Overindulgence Day, and I'll explain that in just a minute. This is the 73rd anniversary of the death of Babe Ruth. George Herman Babe Ruth died of throat cancer at the age of 53 in New York City on August 16, 1948. He would lie in state at Yankee Stadium with over 100,000 mourners passing his open coffin before he was buried. Babe Ruth died at just the age of 53. Of course, Babe Ruth lived life to the fullest. He didn't do anything in moderation. We'll get to that in a minute. 59 years ago today, August 16th, 1962, they had a recording contract in hand. They were on the very verge of international celebrity and worldwide fame, and the Beatles fired their drummer, Pete Best. They got the recording contract from EMI Records. George Martin, their producer, had already told Brian Epstein, the Beatles manager, that, I don't care what you do when you're doing concerts and personal appearances and nightclubs or whatever, but when we're recording in the studio, I'm going to bring in another drummer because your drummer, Pete Best, he stinks. He's no good. He's not a very good drummer. The other three are great musicians. John, Paul, and George, they're great. Your drummer stinks. So just for recording purposes, we're going to bring in a studio drummer. And Brian Epstein said, don't worry about it. We're going to fire Pete Best. And they fired Pete Best on this date in 1962. It was very poorly handled. John, Paul, and George wanted him out. Brian Epstein said it's probably not a good idea. They said, no, he's not good enough. They got to fire him. Only John, Paul, and George didn't fire him. Brian Epstein had to fire him. It was poorly handled. Pete Best was unnecessarily humiliated, but Ringo Starr got the gig. So it all worked out in the end. And finally, 44 years ago today, August 16th, 1977, Elvis Aaron Presley, 42 years old, found dead in the master bath of the master bedroom of his Graceland mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, 42 years old. Here's reports from NBC and CBS.
Good evening. Elvis Presley died today. He was 42. Apparently it was a heart attack. He was found at his home in Memphis, not breathing. His road manager tried to revive him. He failed. A hospital tried to revive him. It failed. His doctor pronounced him dead at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The end, at an early age, of one of the two most spectacular careers in the history of American entertainment, the other being Frank Sinatra's. He was a part of American popular history. In the 1950s, the great swing era of Benny Goodman, Artie Shaw, and Tommy Dorsey was about dead. The big band pop music had become what was called bop or bebop. Remote, obscure, bloodless, nobody liked it, you couldn't dance to it. And then here came Elvis with a hot, stomping, steamy, sexy kind of music that turned people on as pop music never had before. Others came along, including the Beatles, but they were all indebted to him, and most of them said so. He died today. Even though he didn't smoke, drink, or drive his own car, he quit breathing at the age of 42. NBC will have a special on Elvis Presley tonight at 11:30 Eastern Time. John?
Hospital officials said he died of respiratory distress, but they were no more specific than that. In recent years, Presley was plagued by weight problems and fatigue. His trademark was his gyrating hips, a style so controversial that when he began gyrating during a 1956 appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, he was shown only from the waist up.
The king is dead. Elvis Presley, the hip gyrating king of rock and roll music, died at his Graceland mansion of heart failure. The 42-year-old singer was found lying on his bed by his road manager, Joe Esposito, who attempted mouth-to-mouth resuscitation without success. While he was being rushed to the hospital, efforts to revive him in the ambulance failed. His personal physician attempted to revive him without success.
I was upstairs in his bedroom, and I went upstairs to talk to him. He wasn't breathing.
I talked to him last night, and we discussed some songs we were going to do on the tour and everything.
There were no signs of ill health?
None whatsoever.
As word of Elvis's death spread around the world, a large crowd began gathering at the Presley home.
Well, we saw him last night. You know, we waited and waited for him to come out of the gate, and he went back in again, and he was smiling and waved and everything as if he was in real good health. Looked real good last night.
Elvis's friends say he was in a good mood recently. They said he was looking forward to beginning an extended concert tour this week.
National Overindulgence Day. I mean, Babe Ruth died at the age of 53, but Babe Ruth lived life without an emergency brake. He, smoked and drank incessantly. Elvis, of course, was a significant abuser of prescription drugs. He didn't. That being said, since they both died on the same date, Babe Ruth in 1948 and Elvis Presley in 1977, today should be National Overindulgence Day when you do things that aren't good for you, but who cares? Just a thought. Birthdays. Terminator, Terminator 2, Aliens, Avatar, Titanic. James Cameron celebrates birthday number 67 years old today. 2 of the 5 highest grossing motion pictures ever, Titanic and Avatar, are James Cameron films. So he's done all right. He's Canadian by birth, by the way, and he lives in New Zealand now. He's 67 years old today. Who is the greatest selling female recording artist of all time? Madonna. She sold over 300 million records worldwide. She holds the record for the most #1 hits by a female artist in Australia, Canada, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom. She is the highest grossing female solo artist of all time. Madonna, 63 years old today, and he'll always be known as Michael Scott of The Office. Steve Carell is 59 years old today. Of course, after The Office, he went into dramatic acting, even got an Academy Award nomination. Now he's back doing comedy. Steve Carell is 59 years old today. Going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, then my conversation with Jim McKiernan, who's the manager of the Grant County Fair. It starts tomorrow in beautiful Moses Lake. We're going to give you a little tease when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Succession is leading the way for a new generation of Chelan wineries. Named Platinum Winemaker of the Year in 2017 and the one to watch in 2018 by Wine Press, Succession is setting the pace. Award-winning wines are just a part of the overall experience. Add live music on Sundays and fantastic views, and you have it all. Succession Wines, located on the North Shore of Lake Chelan between Chelan and Manson.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I-dos to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, Site Coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard.
We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used, to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, people on both sides of the political spectrum are comparing the others to Nazis. Good grief. Republicans are accused of being white supremacists, and Democrats are accused of trying to disarm the populace and have the government replace religion. Now, what I wonder is that if these social justice warriors on either side face the consequences and same risks that confronted those who actually criticized the real Nazis, would they be so free with their critical venom? I mean, if I risk being sent to a concentration camp at best or executed at worst, would I still feel as free to open my mouth and complain about what the president's doing? Would you? Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
The 2021 Grant County Fair is happening August 17th through the 21st in Moses Lake. Check out the biggest ag-based fair in Washington State as kids show hundreds of animals. Or check out some of the more famous cuisine, such as Space Burgers or Block 40 ice cream. Friday night features country sensation Parmalee on the Brian Miller stage. Saturday, check out Grupo Control. Lots of music, food, animals, and of course, a huge carnival. Head to the website at gcfairgrounds.com. Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been providing heating and cooling services in our valley since 1984. Arctic offers a variety of refrigeration and heating services, proudly now selling Bryant Systems. Heating and air conditioning for your home or business. Commercial refrigeration service for your coolers, freezers, and prep tables. And now, full service on gas fireplaces for your home or business. Whatever it takes, Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, the temperature experts.
Lakeshland Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course mailboxes, even passport photos. Schland Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.
This is Kelly, owner of the Original Children's Shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the Original Children's Shop.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. After a very pleasant trip across I-90, we have made it here to the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake to talk about the Grant County Fair, August 17th through the 21st at this beautiful facility. Jim, introduce yourself to our television family.
I'm Jim McKiernan, and I'm the director of the Grant County Fairgrounds, supported by a great staff.
You do have we've got to meet some of them.
We got to meet, yeah, and they joked with us a little bit, yeah. They like to joke when the director's around, I guess.
What's the last month for you been like as you ramp things up for the big event?
It's been busy. The biggest thing is, we haven't done fair for 2 years, so there's a lot of little things that we forget, and so it seems like we're fighting a few more fires than we typically do, but the staff's been really good. We've been working hard to make sure the grounds are ready, cleaning, horse stalls, cleaning barns, making sure everything's, the biosecurity stuff's all taken care of so we can get the animals in here and not have to worry about infections or anything like that. And then prepping the exhibit buildings, taking into account COVID measures. We've Going to have hand sanitizing stations, lots of hand sanitizer. We're going to have masks available if needed, and we're ready to go.
But you're having a fair.
We're
which
having
you
a
didn't have
fair
last year.
Yeah, that's huge for us because last year all we had was the Junior Livestock Show, which was great. Our whole focus for fair, and a lot of times is people forget that fair really is about animal projects. It's 4-H and FFA animal projects, and if any of you know a 4-H or FFA kid, I mean, they're extremely hardworking. They've got great communication skills. They're attentive. Attention to detail is phenomenal. And so we want to help those projects succeed, which results in the sale on Friday of fair. And we are one of the largest ag-based fairs in terms of number of animals. Typically, we run around 630 animals.
Of all different shapes and sizes and
everything
breeds.
From, a 1,300-pound steer all the way down to a 1-pound rabbit. Guinea pigs. We do pocket pets. Actually, we heard that there's going to be some reptiles here this year for pocket pets, which is a category. And but the goal is to get the kids to finish their project, which results in a sale of an animal in most cases, and then those animals go to a processing facility in a lot of cases.
And sometimes they get donated right back to the kids. I know a lot of people who come in for the auction and they buy that pig.
Yep.
And then they say, I'm just going to give you the pig right back and you can do with it whatever you want to. They donate it.
Yep.
And then they get to sell the pig again.
Yep. And they make, you hope that they make enough money to continue purchasing animals, or if they're getting toward the latter stages of FFA, helps them with their educational funds or whatever to go on to the next level. So.
And you talk about this is a great moment for young kids, the younger kids start to learn about social skills because they're proud of the animal that they raise. And they'd be more than happy to answer your question when you talk about the goat or the pig or the horse.
Yep. And that's half the fun is you walk through the barns and the kids are out there, they're trying to talk about their projects. I think it's a great way for kids to understand how to interact with adults who may not understand the process of animal raising, and it teaches them great social skills. And I think, in the day of the computer age, I think that's more important than ever.
I haven't been out here in a number of years, and that's my bad. The one thing I completely forgot about the Grant County Fairgrounds, this has a big footprint. You have a lot of square footage here, huge parking, barns everywhere. This is a sizable plant.
Yep.
So there's a lot of elbow room in there.
We got 187 acres. We are the largest campground in Grant County. Most people don't realize that. We have 456 RV sites. We are a huge equestrian facility, so a lot of equestrian events, barrel races, cutting horses, Arabians this year, quarter horses come here for events. We have 430 permanent stalls on the grounds, numerous barns, but we host a 5,000-seat rodeo arena. We host a lot of events. Yeah.
Does having such a big footprint and having everything so spread out help you with COVID protocol? Because you don't have to worry about people crowding around and stuff like that?
I think this year it's going to be beneficial. There's times when it's not so beneficial to go from one end of the grounds to the other, especially as I get older. But it does help because we can socially distance a fairly large crowd. And I think this year, everybody's a little more conscious of COVID at this time of the year than they have been in the past few months. And so we're going to have signage up to socially distance, and we're going to have plenty of hand washing stations and hand sanitizer. So, yeah.
You know what? You bring up a very good point, and I wanted to mention this to everybody while we're thinking about it. Whether you're just doing the fair for one day, or you're going to come for the entertainment or the carnival, or you're going to come for all 4 days, a good pair of walking shoes is a must. You don't want to wear sandals. You don't want to wear Birkenstocks because you're going to be doing quite a bit of hiking.
Well, and you don't want to step in something in a barn and Birkenstocks.
You said it.
Yeah, so Romeos are good. That's my go-to shoe. Tennis shoes are good, but you do sometimes have to watch where you step in the barns.
Yeah, well,
yeah, you don't. Yeah, not good. Sandals not good.
Let's talk entertainment. You scored with Parmalee. This is a good coup for you guys. They're going to be taking. They're the headliner on the weekend.
Yep. Friday night we've got Parmalee 7:30 to 9 on the Brian Miller stage. Entrance to Parmalee is free with an entry to the fair ticket. It's $8 to get into the fair for the day. We do have VIP seating. Unfortunately, that's all sold out, but. We had booked them for last year's fair, and what was nice is our booking agency, Romeo Entertainment, arranged for them to honor the contracts from last year for this year. So they're basically, I think they're doing their tour that they would have done last year, this year, and then they follow up in Western Washington, I think, the next day. But yeah, Friday night's going to be huge for us. We don't typically have those kinds of acts. although we're trying to bring in larger entertainment for fair just to get more people to come out.
And you got some regional favorites as well. Junk Belly is coming in from Wenatchee. They're going to be playing. You got that great group out of Spokane whose name I just went out of my head.
We've got The Rising with everybody will know Sean Owsley from KHQ. His wife Sarah puts together that. We've got the Dime Store Profits locally. On Saturday, we've got a headliner. We typically try to do some more ethnic type acts on Saturday, and so we've got Grupo Control coming up. Their opener is a band called Oro Norteño, and we think they're going to be huge on Saturday. Wednesday, Jason Fellman, who does all of the tribute bands in the Pacific Northwest, is coming, and he's bringing 3 bands that are phenomenal tribute bands. One is a tribute to Def Leppard, one for tribute to AC/DC, and one for tribute to Guns N' Roses.
And these guys are good. They're note-for-note copies. If you close your eyes, you swear Axl Rose is singing.
Yeah,
they're that good.
The guy from Def Leppard, too, I looked at the pictures and video that they sent us, and it was like, wow, that's the guy from 30 years ago. I mean, so it was, and that's when I grew up. So it was it's going to be cool.
Let's talk about tickets as far as, do you highly recommend that people who I'm going to the fair, whether it's the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, whenever it is, get your tickets in advance? Does it save you a long wait in line?
It does save you a little bit of time to come in. You just get scanned then. So you can buy your tickets at gcfairgrounds.com is our website, or you can buy them at the gate, either way. We do offer, this year we're offering discounts to medical professionals because we know all of the stuff that they've had to go through. My daughter's a nurse at Central Washington Hospital, and I know what she's had to go through. So we're doing that for medical professionals, first responders, active and retired military. So they get a $5 entrance fee. Tuesday's always free. So if you don't want to spend the money for tickets, Tuesday, come on out. You still hear some great music. We have a band on Tuesday night. Huckleberry Road is playing from California, and then a band out of Oregon called Hit Factory that's really good. So, come on out.
But the really good deal is get the pass.
Get the passes.
You can come and go as you please.
Yep.
That is a tremendous deal.
And also, if you buy your Carnival wristbands now, they're $27. On the day of the fair, they're $35. And so if you buy them now online, you come in, bring your receipt in, go down to the Carnival, which is done by Davis Shows, and pick up your actual wristbands, put them on, and you save a little bit of money there on rides.
Davis Show Carnivals, musical entertainment, arts and crafts, ag. And as we mentioned before, the NCW Fair in Waterville, ag base. Certainly the Chelan County Fair in Cashmere has some ag interests as well. But if you're really into the animals, this is the fair, because this by far has the most amount of livestock and animals that you're going to find in any of the local fairs.
I think we're number one in terms of number of animals in the state of Washington. The only fair that might make more at their auction is Benton Franklin down in the Tri-Cities. But yeah, we are a huge ag base fair. I love both of those fairs as well. I tried, as soon as ours is over, I try to get to the other ones as well. And Karen and Chelan and Carolyn up in Waterville. But yeah, those are huge fairs too.
And it's probably easy for, I shouldn't say easy, it's never easy. I know you're working on this. You're not only do you run the fair, but you run the fairgrounds itself. But you're first one out of the gate. So you get to get your fair out of the way, and then you get to go up to Waterville, and then you get to go out to Cashmere and do some of the other fairs. So it must be easier for you to bat lead off.
Yeah.
If you pardon the baseball analogy.
It is. In fact, Carolyn, who runs the Douglas the fair up in Waterville, is going to come down and help us one day next week just to hang out. In fact, we're trying to convince her to come down for Parmalee on Friday. And then we'll go up. My wife and I usually go up and do their concert and do their fair. But yeah, we share a lot of, the fair community is a fairly small group of people. And so we share a lot of information, and we work hard to get funding through the state for in our case, the WSDA provides funding for premiums, which then are paid back to the kids. So we get approximately $41,000 a year from the state fund, and we actually pay all of that money back. We don't use any of it for operating expenses, pay it back to the kids for their ribbon placements.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but we're almost out of time, Jim. No sponsors, no fair. It's pretty straightforward there.
We have some great sponsors this year. LocalTel has obviously been a sponsor. T-Mobile is a sponsor. Gisa Credit Union is a sponsor. Vive Communications is a sponsor. Grant County PUD is a day sponsor, and then we have numerous entertainment sponsors, stage sponsors. Without sponsors, the fair wouldn't happen. We try to break even. That's our goal. It's not a big money-making operation. We are a counting facility, so if we can break even, that means the taxpayers don't have to help fund our fair.
Last question for Jim, then we'll cut you loose. Walk me through the day when you got word from the governor's office that the fair was on, that the restrictions were on, and you were good to go. That must have been a great day for you.
We were watching June 30th really close. We were nervous that restrictions were going to be continued, and when we found out, I think there was quite a bit of excitement in the office to allow fair. It means that I can start my day I go to Block 40 for ice cream for breakfast, and then I might get a space burger during the day. Sometime in the afternoon, I might grab a beer, take a nap, and then I come out and do the evening shift. So, we're really excited, and I know everybody in the county seems to be really excited. We expect 30 to 40% bigger crowds than we've ever had before.
Looking forward to it. Again, the Grant County Fair begins on August 17th, runs through the weekend. The website one more time, because everything we talked about, your website is phenomenal. I don't know who your webmaster is, but they do a great job. Very friendly.
Rebecca Martinez does a great job, and it's gcfairgrounds.com. And I do have to say, we have probably one of the best staffs of any fairgrounds that you'll go to. They do a phenomenal, and they've been working 10, 12, 16-hour days right now.
Any objection if we come back out during the fair and hang around, goof off a little bit?
No, we hope you do, and I'll buy you some Block 40 ice cream. How's that sound?
Well, you as soon as you said something about the beer.
Beer, too. I could buy you a beer, too, yeah. All right.
The Grant County Fair, it's fair season again, and it feels good. Jim, thanks for taking time out of your busy day for visiting with us.
Thank you very much.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu, because we work to get you to work.
All right, let's wrap up this Monday edition of Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley, where we began. First of all, a couple of quick notes in case you missed it at the start of the show. We tied the record high temperature on Saturday. We tied it again on Sunday. So far this summer, we have set or tied record high temperatures 7 times, and we have had 12 days with the afternoon high temperature at least 100 degrees. That has never happened before. You'll notice the air quality is considerably better after a pretty smoky and hazy weekend. There is one exception, and that's up to the north, where the air quality is, of course, not very good. They've still got the Cedar Creek fire and the Cub Creek fire. So right now, things are looking okay as far as your air quality. It's good in Ellisburg, good in Quincy, good in Wenatchee, good in Leavenworth. Again, the higher north you go, the worse it is. Chelan's at 39. I have a feeling that's going to get worse because of the 25 Mile fire that's burning in the foothills to the northwest of Chelan, and then, of course, you go up to Omak. It's not good at all. Get ready for some breezy conditions, which is nice for the temperature, not so good for the firefighters, and the wind is really going to start going this afternoon. So, real quickly from the National Weather Service, 91 our high today with wind in the afternoon. Windy tonight, 62 for the overnight low. Windy tomorrow, much cooler, high of only 79. Wind all the way through Tuesday night. So, starting a little bit later on today, all the way through Tuesday night, it's going to be windy. We calm down Wednesday. We start warming up again on Thursday and Friday, but at least it's not going to be super hot. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.